Sometimes when I talk about my work with animals at the end of life, people get this image of the Grim Reaper in their head, and they are afraid to contact me, they are afraid to get in touch because they associate my work with the death of their beloved animal or pet. Nothing could be further from the truth. In this video, I will try to explain what my work is about, how it supports the circle of life, and why you can always ask me for help and why your pet will appreciate it. So let's start with the circle of life. Depending on the country you live in, I live in Austria by the way, you are predisposed to certain views regarding life and death and the circle of life and death. In some cultures, life and youth are everything. Other cultures value the wisdom of age as well and the sacred journey from this stage to the next. The afterlife is a spiritual concept that is known in a lot of cultures around the world. So, for example, when I was in New Zealand, I visited Cape Reinga, and the Maori teach us that this cape is the place where a soul departs from this plane to the next. And there's a lot of information about that on the internet, so if you're interested in Cape Reinga, please just Google it. A friend of mine, she's from Mexico, and part of her culture is the Dia de Muertos, so the Day of the Dead. And here in Austria, we celebrate Allerheiligen, Allerseelen. So those are 2 days at the beginning of November where we think of those who already went ahead on this journey. And to me, it's a thing, or the thing is that to know the circle of life, to truly integrate the wisdom it bears, is to see the true value of living. So when I talk about death and dying, I often do so with a light heart or even with some sort of humor, but I never do so carelessly, and I never do so because I appreciate death more than life. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's very important to cherish life, to do the best you can every day to have the best life possible. So life is but a journey, and this leg of this journey, a life, will come to an end. That's a fact. And when a soul enters this plane of existence, when an animal comes to here on earth and says, I want to be a cat, I want to be a dog, I want to be a horse, a deer, bird, whatever. There are so many of them and everyone is really special. So when they come here, they know that at one point they will have to leave again. But in the meanwhile, they want to have the best they can. And they want to make the most of it. And if you ever saw a young dog or cat or horse or whatever play, you know how much fun they carry in their hearts, how much love there is. And it's, I think, one of the most beautiful moments, and a moment that will for sure touch your heart. All animals, but especially pets and horses, come here with a purpose. While they are not trained therapists, they will touch your heart with their love and transform you and your life. No matter how small, no matter how lovely or cruelly treated, they will work their magic and there's nothing that could stop them. They deserve to be treated the best way possible, to be part of the family without having to function as a substitute for a baby or a partner, and they are amazing in their own right. And if you let them, your companion will enrich your life in a way you couldn't even imagine. They usually over-deliver if we let them. Most humans who have been gifted with a pet, and I include all animals here, not only dogs and cats, they want their companions to simply have the best life possible. To me, this includes supporting them in the last stages of their journey. These last stages start long before an animal dies. They start with the moment they realize that death is calling them. This may or may not come with outward signs. Being readied by death is necessary, but not always visible. It's an animal's prerogative to decide whether they want their impending passing known or not. At this stage, they often decide not to share, and there are two reasons for that. And I will tell you these reasons because you need to know so you can stop feeling guilty because you have not been aware of what's about to come. The first reason they don't tell or show is that they don't want to upset you. It's as simple as that. And the second reason goes hand in hand with that. They have to come to terms with what is about to come. They have to make their peace with the fact that they are going to die soon or somewhere in the future. And they love you so much that they don't want you to leave. So it's very hard on them to know that they have to go. And although they are ready, they are still sad. It's the same with us humans, right? If we are aware that we are going to die, we don't think, oh my God, it's good that I can leave my family behind. No, we want to stay with those we love. That's just natural. That's a part of life. So it takes an animal a while to come to make peace with what's going to happen. And when they've made their peace, they will slowly, slowly, slowly prepare you for what's to come. I've heard many a story of cats becoming really, really annoying with age. They shed more hair, they become more troublesome, or pee everywhere in the house. This could be their way to make their impending passing easier for you, because there is this part of you that will feel relieved that the nuisance is finally over. So you'll still be sad, you will still grieve the loss, but a part of you will also be relieved, and this could be your cat's way to make it easier for you. Horses, when given the chance, will make their passing as easy as possible for you, meaning they will go in a way that best suits your true self. It's what they do in life, and they do it in the end of life stage too. And dogs are loyal, loving, and brave. And they will do everything they possibly can to prevent you from suffering. So don't be upset if they die the moment you had to get out of the room to go to the loo or whatever. It's their way of protecting you, even in the moment of passing. The last stages of life start long before death. And they are not over in the moment of death. Because the moment of death means that the body is separated from the soul, and the body remains here and the soul travels on to doggy paradise, to animal paradise, to wherever the soul belongs. And every stage, those before and those after death, requires a lot of energy. And this is where my work comes in. When I first realized that I had a certain affinity for this topic, I was both honored and annoyed. Honored because how could you not? Because I was initiated into this line of work by a cat, and this cat's trust and guidance was truly a gift, and I felt truly honored by that. On the other hand, I was annoyed because others got to work with living beings, assisting them in getting better, repairing their ailments, helping them with overcoming health issues. And I thought that infinitely better than assisting someone on the path to paradise. So I can totally understand why people hesitate to contact me, because I was hesitant at first too, until the moment I realized that it's very, very important to be there at these stages of life. And I also understand that my work is touching the most vulnerable part of every being, human and animal alike, because we don't want to die, usually. And it's a point in us that needs to be protected and cared for, and I hope that my work and sharing this knowledge with you in these videos and other videos will encourage you to enjoy life more and to lose the fear that's usually associated with the topic of dying and death. Of course, none of us wants our pets to leave, but at one point there is a readiness to the soul that won't permit staying any longer. So after your animal has come to terms with their passing, they will not only start showing signs of weakness, tiredness, or illness, they will be ready. They are already ready. They truly want to go. It's what the call is way stronger at one point than everything they leave behind. Not because they don't love us, not because they want you to be left alone or behind, just because it's nature's way to make sure that death is not a punishment. This is a natural support and meant to ensure the flow of life. So at one point they want to go, and at the same time a lot of disturbances can interfere. They can interfere with the soul's inner knowing, making it hard or impossible to learn that they have to go. So all the interferences that stress us in life can stress us in these end of life stages too. And when this happens, the inner readiness, for example, so I told you before that at one point the animal knows that death is calling, and this knowledge prepares them for the stages ahead. There are things that may interfere with this getting ready process. So the soul somehow no longer knows that they have to go. But death still happens. Either they are dying naturally or an animal has to be put down. And that's usually the point that they look a little startled. They realize they had to leave their body. The soul is having an out-of-body experience, but they have not been prepared, so that they are pretty shocked, unsure of how to proceed, and really ungrounded. They don't know what has to happen next, and that's a very terrifying situation. So what should they do? How can they proceed? And a lot of loving, guiding angels are at work right now to righten the wrongs besteered upon those souls. And I think it's time that more and more humans become aware of this fact, because we have to start to help our animals getting ready. And this is an energy healing process that I assist with. So these disturbances, they can interfere with the getting ready process, but they can also interfere with every other stage of the journey from this life to the next. And even a soul that has been ready, even an animal that knew that it will have to go, can be displaced or misled. That's truly a heinous crime to me, because after all they have given, they really deserve paradise. And it's not okay to keep them from the place they earned. My work is simply an assistance in all the stages that occur in the end of life phase. I cannot bring death any sooner than it was meant to be. I can ready and repair the energy system of your animal. This ensures that every last leg of the journey from here into animal paradise is as smooth and loving as possible. Oftentimes people are not sure whether the time for their animal has come or not. Neither am I. I have learned that my assistance will work in the way that is right for the soul. For example, my own cat is really old, and right now her moments of weakness are becoming more pronounced. Hence, I gave her permission to leave and prepared her system for what's to come when it's meant to be. She won't die a day sooner than she chooses to, but when she has to go, I know she will have all the support and assistance she needs and deserves. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I sincerely hope that you can now breathe more easily and enjoy the days with the animal that chose to be at your side more, and just have a good time. And I wish you and your animal to be blessed with a lot of happy days together. Thank you and goodbye.